I
guess
it's
so.
past time. All right, Carly, give us a thumbs up right before. Hello, and welcome back to Swather Football 2022. I am Micah Dalston here alongside
Lane McGill.
We are so excited to be the commentators this year for Swather Football. Lane, can you tell us a little bit about yourself before we jump right into it?
Well, as I said, my name is Lane, and I am a senior this year at Hesston High School, and it is my first year a part of this SSN class.
Thank you, Lane. I am Micah, as I said earlier, Micah Dalston, and I am also a part of SSN, and I'm also a senior. So really excited to be on the mic with Lane, and that's something I think is interesting about this SSN class is we are having a lot of turnover coming into this. We lost a lot of seniors, so it's been fun to be with a new crew and kind of just jump full in, and there's been some things we've needed to learn.
Yeah, it's definitely a learning experience, just learning all different parts and tech and stuff. But I think we're prepared, and it's going to be a great season.
And the national anthem is about to play.
Big thanks to Mr. Lyle Graverson for directing our pep band and playing the national anthem tonight.
It is always fun to have the pep band at a football game. Brings such a good atmosphere as they play the Swather on Wisconsin, the Swather song. All right. Well, anyways, as I was saying earlier, SSN, yeah, a lot of turnover, but I guess now we're just going to jump right in, and we're going to bring to you our starting lineups for tonight's game, starting with Hoisington. We have number 2, Chase Steiner. Number 3, Leighton Haxton. Number 4, Mason Alderdice. Number 5, MJ Elward. Number 6, Jason Robinson. Number 8, Ian Smith. Number 11, Tony Moore. Number 24, Taryn Kraft. Number 30, Gage Britt. Number 56, Jace Reese. Number 61, Braxton Linsner. Number 62, Logan Filburn. Number 64, Elliot Kopp. Number 75, Cole Gilliland. And number 76, Caden Hoffman.
And then your starters for the Hesston Swather football. Number 1, Jackson Fry. Number 2, Jake Proctor. Number 3, Colton Diller. Number 4, Brett Cox. Number 8, Hudson Ferrales. Number 12, Bailey Reed. Number 35, Adrian Hernandez. Number 40, Tyrone Taylor. Number 44, Bo Warden. Number 49, Carter Gonzalez. Number 50, Aiden O'Halloran. Number 57, Cooper McCormick. Number 60, Josh Cohen. Number 64, Tegan Lang. And number 73, Hayden Hartung.
That is your Swather's starting lineup, and now we will have a video brought to you by SSN.
Well, you know, Johnny always wore black, and he wore black because he identified with the poor and the downtrodden.
You can run on for a long time, run on for a long time, run on for a long time. Sooner or later, gotta cut you down. Sooner or later, gotta cut you down. Go tell that long-tongued liar. Go and tell that midnight rider. Tell the rambler, the gambler, the...
All of those hours, no one else saw. Think of every sacrifice. Early mornings in the weight room. Late nights in the film room. Every bump in the road, every moment of ecstasy. Every moment of doubt. Years wondering, is it all worth it? It's all led to this. After all this time, we're almost there. All these hours we've worked, one more season can make us legends. It's time for the resurgence.
And here come your Hesston Swathers with, I think, one of the best entrances in high school football.
Yeah, I would definitely argue that that is one of the best and most looked forward to entrances
I mean, it
in
is
the state
so
of
cool.
Kansas.
You see him run down with that flag, the music blaring. Oh man, that makes me happy.
Yeah, it just gives you chills every single home game that they do it. They said they had one of their players named Tony Moore. He'll be playing quarterback tonight. He's a key player to watch. He was their leading rusher and receiver from last year, but as I said, he'll be playing QB. And so they'll need a lot of younger guys to step up for the team tonight. And defensively, he named Chase Steinhardt as a strong safety. He picked up a lot of tackles this year, and he's definitely one to watch in the game tonight.
That is good. We will keep our eyes open for them. And on the Swather side of the ball, we, of course, have our returning starting quarterback, Hudson Ferralis, who put up some impressive numbers last year in the passing game. Even had a few runs, which I know we had fun with that last year. Yeah, so he had played 8 games, and he missed week 3 versus Pratt. But overall from last year, I have that he threw for 2,436 yards and 27 touchdowns. So that is pretty impressive for high school ball and not high school ball. That
and
is
especially as a sophomore, stepping into a big role last year. I just know that's impressive, and he's definitely a key player to watch tonight.
Yeah, I think he's gonna put up some awesome highlight plays, if you will.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna be fun. But then for his go-to target, I'm gonna put my prediction out there. It could be wrong, but I'm gonna guess that it's gonna be senior wide receiver Jake Proctor. Really turned it on in his last 3 games last year. I remember that, putting on some really impressive receiving numbers. And I think that's really going to be something to watch for. I mean, 42 receptions and 721 yards last year, and I think he had maybe 300 of them in the last 3 games. It was crazy to watch. And then, of course, we have Colton Diller, a returning receiver for the Swathers, and Jackson Fry is a junior. So it's going to be a lot of fun to watch the offensive production for the Swathers this year. But we see them out at midfield and the painted Swather, which does look beautiful, if I can add that. Man, always wonderful to see that Swather in the middle of the field as they look for the coin toss. We will see what the results are. But while we're waiting, Lane, what are you most excited for for this game in particular?
Well, I don't know if it's one particular thing. I was just really excited to get up here, be on the mic with you, and just call the game for our Swathers. I don't know. I liked watching the kids do it last year and thought it would just be really cool and a great experience to be up here doing it. What about you?
High school football is back, and it is exciting. So seems maybe a little bit of a cop-out answer, but I'm going to go with a similar one and just say I'm excited to have high school football back. It is so fun to watch. Yeah. So fun to watch the people you go to school with out there competing on the field, putting up touchdowns and putting up impressive numbers.
Well, we'll see the call. The Hesston Swathers will receive the kickoff on the north end of the field.
Receiving the kickoff.
Oh, man. Getting hyped, ready for their first game of the season. It is exciting.
Linesman Derek Sawyer, Judge Brad Beckton, back judge Lucas Sawyer.
All right. 1 minute till game time. What do you think these final words are going into, or the coach is saying to the players right now, right before the game starts?
I think just to calm down the nerves. Obviously there's pressure, but I think if they just stay calm and get their job done, I think that's just the biggest thing for them at this point.
Yeah. I think you're right. As we wait for these final words, anticipating kickoff for the 2022 football season. And the referees take their positions. Swathers line up in to receive.
Number 20 from Hoisington, Morales, is back to kickoff for Hoisington. And we have number 1, Jackson Fry, and number 18, Isaac Sanchez, back to return for the Swathers.
And we're off. The football season is a go.
Fry with the return. He's breaking through.
Oh.
Good return. Takes a swarm of Cardinals to take him down.
What a start for the Swathers. Jackson Fry breaking a couple of tackles there. Already giving some great positive energy to this Swather sideline. It's great to see.
Looks like they'll start this drive on their own 36-yard line.
A great place to start. All right, first play of the season, run or pass?
Pass.
I think so too.
I think they'll look for something big here. Hudson has Bailey Reed back in the backfield with him. Oh, Proctor is in motion. Oh, the ref stop.
And we got a flag. Looks like we got a false start on Hesston, and we will be moving back 5 yards.
5-yard penalty.
Looks like we'll have to redo the snap, see if they stick with the same play or go with something new. Looks like it's something new. Proctor lining up on the opposite side this time. This time, Ferrales is back with an empty backfield. We'll see what they do with this. Diller in motion, they toss it to him. He looks for a cut and doesn't get much yardage on that play.
Did he get back to the line of scrimmage?
It's hard to tell from this angle, but it doesn't. It looked like they moved it back a little bit.
Unfortunate. We do know the Swathers like to send people in motion, try and cause some confusion for the backfield and of their opponents. But
yeah, I know Diller is definitely a favorite that they send in motion.
He's quick.
He is quick. Looks like Ferrales is back again. We'll see what he gets the ball, looks to his right, sees Jake Proctor, makes a move, makes the defender miss, gets hit hard, stays on his feet, and looks like he'll be stopped with forward progress.
Jake Proctor with a great catch on the out or the little bubble screen. Makes one move, makes his defender miss, and takes it upfield. It was looking, that was a nice little move there. And once again, took a swarm of Cardinals to bring him down.
Yeah, it's always important to make the first man miss on those type of plays. It can give you an easy extra 5 yards. And looks like they have a 3rd and 8 from their own 38-yard line, heading up the field. Farrell's with the snap. He rolls out to his left, looking down the field. Gets a pass incomplete. Oh, looks like it's an interception by number 11, it looks like. Tony Moore.
Tony Moore. Wow, it was a great interception.
Oh, the ref's calling incomplete, not an interception. So it will be 4th and 8 from the 38-yard line.
That is a break for the Swathers. Right off Bo Warden's hands and almost directly in to Tony Moore's hands for the interception, but the referee is saying it hit the ground first.
So now we'll get to see the Swathers punt. Here's Bo Warden is back to punt for the first time, and Hoisington has number 2, Chase Steiner, back to receive the punt. Oh, it's a good punt. He caught fair catch.
And Hoisington will start their offense. Not a bad little, I guess that's a 3 and out.
Yeah.
With 1 penalty.
Yeah, the penalty definitely didn't help the Swathers.
No.
With that 5-yard penalty.
Hudson rolling out to his left. I think we're going to see that a lot this year. I could be wrong, but I think we're going to see Hudson rolling out a little bit to his left and to his right, looking.
Yeah, looking to make a lot of the decisions. Tony Moore takes the snap, and looks like, I think the QB kept it.
It's tough to see. He was
a
under
couple
center.
yards. Yeah. Looks like about a 2-yard gain on the play.
Ian Smith, ball carrier. Hayden Hartung on the stop for Hesston.
Hayden with the tackle, though. Yeah, 3-yard gain.
It's like the quarterback, Moore, is back under center. He takes the snap, and he's taking it himself. He gets to the outside. Fry is chasing him. He makes a move, and Fry takes him down at about the 25-yard line.
Wow, that was a great play. Seemed to me a little bit of misdirection there. Had the Swathers going one way. He kept it on what looked to me what might be a read option. Took it, went the other way, and there was a wide hole for him.
He made a great decision and a great cut to get that big gain. And now they will continue the drive on the Swather 26-yard line. Looking to be about the same lineup they've gone with before. Moore takes, he hands it off. No gain on that rush.
Ian Smith, ball carrier.
Smith was the ball carrier in that play.
Hayden Hartung making the tackle.
From what I've seen so far, I think we're going to see a lot of this two-back in the backfield for the Cardinals, and a lot of little motion, a lot of option plays. So we'll see if the Swathers can be on their game and keep their heads in it.
Yeah, I've heard they're a heavy rush team, and they'll be looking to do that very effectively as this game goes on. Number 5, Elward is in motion. I
think we're gonna have we have a timeout.
Timeout, Hoisington.
We do have a timeout.
Hoisington takes their first time out of the game.
And SSN, this broadcast is brought to you by GLC Realty. GLC Real Estate Services is your only hometown real estate agency. It is a proud sponsor of the Hesston Swathers. Call the GLC team for all of your real estate needs at 620-327-3100 or find us at www.glcrealestate.com or on Facebook. Rolling Wheels is a proud sponsor of the Swather Sports Network since 2016. Rolling Wheels has been your local pre-owned car dealer, and we are proud to help so many Swathers get into their first ride. Call or text us at 620-869-9982. Go Swathers. And Central Kansas Counseling, serving individuals, couples, families, and kids throughout the region. Central Kansas Counseling walks alongside you in the pursuit of living a more healthy, courageous, and authentic lifestyle. Call now to get started.
And we are back after that timeout with Hoisington on the Swather 24-yard line. Moore takes a snap and pitches it back to Robinson. He has some room and rushes up to about the Swather 12-yard line.
The Cardinals really seem to be pounding the outside of the Swathers, really getting some great yardage on some outside runs early in this first quarter.
They're really testing the outside defense and just the discipline of the Swathers on their defense. So the ball on the 13-yard line. Number 3, Hesston, is out wide. Moore takes a snap and hands it off to Robinson. Oh, my bad. That was Smith with the ball. About a 1-yard gain on that play.
Keeps us on our toes, too.
It does, for sure.
Gain of 2 on the play. Brings up 2nd and 8.
I think something to note here with their heavy rush offense is the clock is always going to be running. So it could drain the Swathers of time of possession.
That is also very true. Set up in much the same. Moore takes a snap and hands it off to Smith, who has a nice 11-yard run in for a Hoisington touchdown.
I think Smith broke 2 or 3 tackles there. I mean, he got hit at the line, kept his legs churning. And
great footwork, making some quick moves to get into the end zone.
That was a really impressive touchdown by Smith. And we will see now if they go for 2 or decide to kick the extra point.
It appears that they are going to kick. Number 20, Morales, is the kicker, with number 2, Steinert, holding. The kick is up, and it is off the upright.
Wow. That is something I don't know if I've seen in person.
I can't tell you that I have for sure. It's definitely rare in football. And for the kicker, Hoisington kicker Morales, that is definitely not what you want to see on your first kick.
I wonder if there were some nerves there. Because the kick looked pretty good off his foot, had good rotation and everything. I just wonder if there were a few nerves there that led him to pull that kick off the upright.
Yep. Well, he will be back out for the kickoff.
But Hoisington takes a 6-0 lead with a did they pass once? I don't think they did.
No,
Not a single
all
pass.
running plays so far in the first possession.
Interesting.
And it's working for them, so if I were them, I'd just keep doing it.
I mean, I don't know. Did they have 1 negative play that whole drive? Maybe?
Maybe, but they just seem to get yardage in every way possible.
And a couple of big plays there to pick up some first downs on that drive. It really looked really well put together. And I think that's a big confidence boost for them for the rest of the season, to drive down on your first drive, keep it pretty compact, stick to what your game plan is, and it's a success. I mean, that's got to be confidence going for the rest of this game.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And Coach Bowerly for the Swathers can't be too happy. I'm sure he's just telling them to calm down and just play how they've practiced this week. And I'm sure they will keep consistent throughout this next possession and get more yards on this possession.
Yeah, we see Jackson Fry and Isaac Sanchez back to receive again. Wonder if it goes to Jackson Fry, if he'll have another big return, maybe swing the momentum back in favor of the Swathers.
Yeah, that could definitely be a big momentum boost. Looks like Morales is back to kick it off for the Cardinals. And we are waiting for the ref to, oh, there we go. It's a good kick. Fry with the ball. He's looking to return it. Led by a pack of blockers for the Swathers. Makes a cut. And he is taken down by number 6, Robinson.
It wasn't quite as far up the field as it was last time, but I did like the patience of Jackson Fry, waiting for his blockers, trying to find a hole.
Yeah, it's definitely important for the kick returners to just have patience. I know you see it in college and the NFL too. They just wait for a gap to develop and then turn on the jets and hit it.
See if the Swathers can execute this time down the field.
Proctor is in motion, coming across. Frowles pitches it to him. He is looking for a block, tries to get around the outside. He gets taken down, and there's a flag on the play.
I gotta say, anytime I see a flag on an outside run, my mind immediately goes to holding.
Same here. We'll see what the head referee has for us.
Swathers are moving back. And there it is.
Holding on the Swathers.
It's really tricky on those outside runs to keep a clean block and not
For
hold.
sure.
You want to try to get any advantage you can, but that time just crossed the line and got called for holding.
Yeah, and another penalty on the first play of a possession. It definitely makes their work a lot harder to keep the possession alive.
That is a great point.
10-yard penalty.
QB Farrell is having some words with coach. We'll see what they have this play.
See if junior quarterback Farrells can rally the troops, get him back on track.
Taylor is in as running back this play. We'll see. Farrells takes the snap, hands it off Taylor. It's a pitch to 49. He makes a cut. Great run up the field by Carter Gonzalez.
That was a little trickery right there.
It was.
Handed
off to Taylor and a little pitch to Gonzalez for about a 12-yard gain.
That was interesting. I have not seen that play at a high school football level.
But it worked, so I'm sure coach is going to note that and have it available for use again.
And now a second and much more manageable with the 2nd and 8.
Again, Farrells is back with Taylor in the backfield, and he's looking to pass. Quick pass to Proctor. Proctor makes a move, gets around, and looks like is tackled by 11 more.
Once again, going back to that little wide receiver screen, just letting Jake Proctor go to work and just try to make a move and get past the first defender. And once again, Jake picks up some solid yardage.
It'll be 3rd and short, 2 yards to go on the Swathers' own 33-yard line. They keep Taylor in the backfield with Proctor and Diller out wide. Farrells with the hard count appears to have drawn a couple of the Hoisington line offsides.
I think that was a great choice right there. 3rd and 2, you say might as well try the hard count, see if we'll get them to jump, and they did.
The nerves and just the pressure must be so high on those first 3rd downs that it's, for the linemen on Hoisington, it's probably hard to control right there. So pick up some yards and continue on their own 39-yard line. Farrells takes the snap, hands it off to Taylor, and he is tackled by 8, Smith.
Taylor's a very hard runner. You know he's going to take the contact, and he did right there. Was met in the hole by number 8. Or sorry, did you say number 8?
Yeah.
Yeah, number 8, Ian Smith.
Yeah.
Okay. Had to make sure.
There's no gain on the play, so they will have a 2nd and 10 from their own 39-yard line. Sanchez is in now, and he's in motion. Farrells hands it to him, and he looks for a hole up the middle. Makes a couple cuts, and gets about 5 or 6 yards on that rush.
Very creative. How many times have we seen that motion play, almost like a wide receiver jet sweep sort of play already by the Swathers? I think it's just going to keep continuing.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot harder with defense. If you see motion, you might react to it, and then they've thrown in a trick play once, and it worked really well. So it makes running the trick plays a lot easier if they use a lot of motion. Farrells takes the snap, hands it off to Reed, who is met by the Hoisington line. Clears for about no gain on that play.
Yeah, just looking for something, some sort of hole to open up, and it just never did. Great job by the Hoisington line.
4th and 4 from their own 47-yard line.
Brings up 4th and 2.
4th and 2, my bad. And we'll see what they call on this one. I don't know.
Man, here's my guess. My guess is it's going to be a wide receiver screen to Jake Proctor, let him make a move.
That's pretty reliable, to rely on Proctor out wide to get those 2 yards you need. Oh, Proctor's in motion. Farrells takes a snap. It's a sweep to him. He's looking for a hole. He gets met.
It's going to be close.
It's going to be real close. He was met by 11 more, and it depends on where the spot is.
And the ref is signaling first down.
First down.
Whew.
Proctor got barely enough to move the chains on that play.
I was wrong about the wide receiver screen, but I was correct about who the hands the ball was in. Jake Proctor, senior wide receiver. I would trust him with my life with that ball.
Definitely reliable on those plays. We haven't seen the Swathers go big yet, which is kind of surprising, but
could be drawing them in.
Could be. Oh, it's a snap straight to Bailey Reed. He makes a couple cuts. Good run. Oh, here's the ball. Might have been knocked out. We'll see what the refs say. Oh, the ref signaled fumble. Hoisington football.
And that is unfortunate.
It's hard to tell who knocked the ball out, but it looked like Reed hit a swarm of Cardinals, and that is a devastating turnover for the Swathers.
It was a good 5-yard run. Hit the first hole. Was hitting the second one and got hit, and I wonder if someone's helmet hit the ball or someone just punched it out, and that ball just came flying out. And Hoisington Cardinals just jumped right on it.
Yeah. Now the Cardinals will start their drive from their own 42-yard line, looking to repeat what they did last possession. Moore's under center again. He takes the snap, and looks like he gives it to number 4, Alderice. Or Smith, my apologies.
It is tough with this option look. There's a lot of people in motion, really close together, under center. The backs in the backfield, and man, it is tough to see who has the ball. I can't imagine what it's like for the Swathers having those helmets on, trying to see through that Hoisington line.
Yeah, it's definitely tough. They got about maybe a yard on that play, not much gain, so it'll be 2nd and 10 from their own 42-yard line. Looks like there's motion. Another run play up the middle. Doesn't appear to be much gain, if any. So it'll be 3rd and long for the Cardinals.
Swathers seem to be a little bit more on the option game this time around in this possession. Maybe some words were spoken after that first touchdown was scored to get them into the right mindset.
Or even just pregame nerves, just get them off. I know you don't want to give up a touchdown, but it'll help really focus the defense on the next possession. 3rd and 7 is what the Cardinals have left.
And the student section trying to make some noise, trying to get them off their rhythm, helping the Swathers out.
They send 2 receivers out wide, and the quarterback under center. His motion. Moore hands the ball off to number 4, Alderice. A big run on the play, taken down by Diller. That was a great play drew up by the coach.
They had I think it was Smith in the backfield in motion, going to our right side of the field, or the near side of the field, and man, it drew the Swathers' eyes, and then he handed it off to Alderice, and man, he had a wide hole in a large gain.
Definitely with the motion, and then the QB Moore also rolling out to the near side of the field. Got probably most of the Swathers looking out that way. We'll see, they look to line up in much of the same way as previous, with Moore under center. And he takes the snap, hands it off to number 8, Smith, for a short rush of about 2 yards. They'll have a 2nd and 7 from the Swather 19.
It's 2nd and 7 at the 20-yard line.
And I wouldn't be surprised if the Cardinals just keep going back to this run play. It's been working really well for them.
Yeah, I mean, even on 3rd and 7, that's a chunk of yards, and they still picked up first down and more.
And more, yeah. That was definitely a very successful play. Moore takes a snap, and he pitches it back. Oh, the pitch is fumbled. We'll have to see the call. He was pitching it back to Alderice, and he fumbled, but he recovered the ball after he dropped it.
Whew, that was a circus a little bit. I got a little excited there. Thought the Swathers were going to have an opportunity for a turnover. A little bit of a wild pitch and mishandled, and the Swathers had an opportunity, but the Cardinals jumped back on it for a loss, though, of 3.
Yeah, it appeared Alderice was not ready for that pitch because Moore was rushing, and then at last second he looked back and pitched it, which probably caught him off guard. Definitely would have caught me off guard in that situation. So they have a 3rd and long from the Swather 22. They've motioned, and looks like they hand it off again for no gain on that play. Stopped by a swarm of Swathers.
Yeah. 4th down and long. And will they elect to go for a field goal, or will they go for this 4th down and long? Will we see the first pass play?
Maybe. It's hard to say.
And that's the end of the first quarter.
But we will have to wait 1 quarter until we find out that decision. Okay, the Bradbury Group is a proud supporter of Hesston High School athletics. Bradbury is a family-owned custom equipment manufacturer headquartered in Mount Ridge. They are currently hiring for entry-level and advanced manufacturing careers. Bradbury's family environment variety and challenging work opportunities to advance and great benefits are unmatched. To learn more, visit bradburygroup.com. Hesston College. Receive a minimum scholarship package of 65% of tuition, a discount of over $19,000 per year at Hesston College when you meet the following criteria. Graduate from a high school within a 15-mile radius of Hesston College. Live on campus and meet admission acceptance standards. With your discount, you are guaranteed to pay less than the average price of K-State, KU, and Wichita State. Hesston College. Start here, go everywhere. Hey Swather fans, thank you for choosing the Hesston Pharmacy. When you support your locally owned and operated pharmacy, you make it possible for us to pass it on to the Hesston kids with ads like this. Thank you, and go Swathers. Well, an exciting first quarter. Not necessarily in lots of points put up, but it was...
But it was exciting. The clock definitely seemed to go by fairly quick with a lot of Hoisington's rush and then using a lot of clock between plays just because the clock keeps running. But I wouldn't be surprised if they just keep doing that. Maybe not on this play, though. 4th and long. What do you see them doing?
Oh, I think they're going to kick.
So during quarter, I guess the coach talked about it, and they're setting up in kick formation with Morales.
30 yards? 30 yards?
Yeah, 30-yard field goal. This will really test the nerves of Morales as a kicker. And the kick is up. It is wide.
Wide left. A little bit of a break for the Swathers.
Definitely a break, not letting any points get put up on that possession. But now they will have to start their own drive on their own 20-yard line, and they will have a lot of field to cover.
See if the Swathers can make it up the field this time. See if they can, I wonder if they're going to go deep this time. They've been throwing a lot of little shovel passes and runs kind of up the gut. And some wide receiver screens have been in there. But I wonder if they'll take it deep with a deep post or even a go route.
Yeah, we know Ferrales has the arm and the accuracy to do that from plays last year. And we have Proctor, Diller, and Fry, who I'd say are all great targets looking deep.
I say it's just a matter of time.
It definitely is. Looks like Hudson Ferrales is back to take the snap. And he takes the snap, hands it off. And a good rush, stays on his feet. Appears to be Gonzalez with the rush. He broke a couple tackles on that rush, and it looks like it will be enough to move the chains.
A great first play of the drive. The first 2 drives that they had started on penalties, so it's nice to see them move the chains on the first play.
Yeah, with a nice clean play without any penalties or something like that to hold him back. Looks like Ferrales will be back again to receive this snap. He takes it and looks out off the fingertips of Sanchez.
Just barely overthrew him on that out route, 5-yard out. Could have, had he caught that, could have turned it up the field for more. Defender trails slightly behind him.
Yeah, and we know Sanchez has quick feet, and he'll be able to turn and make a defender miss quickly.
He is very shifty. He will come up to you in the hallway and just do a little juke move or something.
Oh yeah, I can definitely vouch for that. So Ferrales is back to take the snap. Oh, he looks over to the sideline for another play call perhaps. There's some motion. Appears that he hands it off to Gonzalez again for another hard rush play.
Man. Carter Gonzalez just does not stop his legs from churning. He got hit twice on that play right there, and twice bounced off until it took a third defender to knock him down.
Yeah, it's definitely good to see him get some touches early. I know last year he probably didn't get much as a freshman, but he's made a big impact this year so far as a sophomore.
Yeah, just a sophomore.
So Ferrales is back. He takes a snap. He hands it off, and it looks like the run is met by a swarm of the Cardinals line.
Bailey Reed, the ball carrier. Tackled by Logan Kilhorn.
This will bring up a 2nd and 10 from the Swathers 39. I think it might be time for them to look deep. I don't know.
I don't see any deep safety, so number 11, Tony Moore.
He is back a little bit. Ferrales is looking. He does go deep.
Called it.
To Proctor. Oh, just through his hands.
Just over the outstretched hands. Jake Proctor was hunting that ball down. Couldn't quite get there, but that would have been a gain of 40 yards in the air, I think. I'm pretty sure.
Definitely. At least that much. Ferrales, that was a great throw. Just Proctor probably just couldn't quite find it on the way, looking back over the shoulder.
He saw it early. He saw Tony Moore creep up just a little too far. Jake beat his man on the outside, but wasn't meant to be.
Couldn't haul it in. So they have a 3rd and 11 from their own 40. Ferrales takes a snap. He's looking down the field. He's rolling out. Deep middle to Fry. Fry hauls in the catch, and he breaks the tackle. Fry for about a 60-yard touchdown play.
What a play! Hudson Ferrales waits patiently, gets plenty of time from his experienced line, returning everyone from last year.
Everyone returned on the line. That is great protection for him.
Took a step up into the pocket. Jackson Fry on a deep post.
Yeah, he delivered an absolute dot to Fry.
And like you said, breaks that first tackle. And we have an extra point now.
McGovern is back to kick with Proctor holding. The kick is up and is good. So the Swathers will take a 7-6 lead with 10 minutes left in the 2nd quarter.
And that was quick.
That was a very quick score. I know that's what the Swathers are looking for. And I know that Ferrales and Fry have been working together a lot this summer through camps and stuff, and I wonder if it is paying off now in the season with that chemistry.
Man, that was a beautiful throw. I mean, right in stride, outstretched hands, directly just laid him in there for Jackson Fry and finished it off with a beautiful run.
Yeah, that extra effort to not get taken down by the Hoisington defender tackling his ankles. He just stepped through that, and from there he could just walk into the end zone essentially.
And it's interesting, a lot of runs and short shuffle passes, an out pass here and there, but then we get 2 deep balls in a row, and one of them the Swathers just miss, and the second one connects. So.
And that is Hudson Ferrales for you. He has an accurate arm, and he will look to use it a lot.
Yes, so we will see if he will set any records this year.
I'm sure if he doesn't, he'll at least come close, and he'll be in the mention, or people will be talking about him breaking some for sure. Looks like the Cardinals have number 4, Alderice, and number 6, Robinson, back to receive. And number 42, McGovern, will kick for the Swathers. We'll see McGovern with the kick. A little short. Looks for a fair catch by number 2, Steinert.
May have caught that one a little low, a little. I don't know what's the golf term. I'm not a big golfer. When you catch it, just almost like a flop shot.
Probably. I know if you hit it high, it's called topping it, but obviously that didn't happen.
Yeah, he didn't top it.
And McGovern, a former soccer player, and that just makes for a good kicker usually. Many of our last kickers have been former soccer players.
Indeed. Indubitably.
I wonder if he had a little bit of nerves on his first kick of the season. Now the Cardinals will be starting on their own 28-yard line with Moore. And it's a QB keeper with Moore. Oh, he pitches it back to number 6 with plenty of space. Robinson. And he finally, is he still going? It's hard to tell from here. Looks like he is finally taken down. That was a great decision by Tony Moore, the QB, to pitch it back last second.
That was set up beautifully. Got him on the outside with one defender. The defender had to make a choice whether to go for the QB or the running back, and he chose the QB who had the ball, pitched it. It was a great pitch this time, directly hit him in the chest. He was able to keep running, made a guy miss.
Yeah, it was a great run by Robinson. He's only a sophomore, so I'm sure this is probably some of the first varsity touches he's been seeing. So the coach talking about young guys stepping up. He is definitely stepping up tonight. Looks like Moore will take the snap again and pitch it out to Steinert, who is trying to get around the outside. And good tackle by, it appears to be, it's hard to tell, Smith with the tackle.
And once again, the Cardinals taking it to the outside of that Hesston defense, seeing what they can do to stop it. Currently, not so much.
Yeah, I know. The Swathers look like they need to find something to counter this run by the Cardinals. I think they've ran every single play so far.
Yeah, I believe you're right.
It's been effective. So we'll see if that continues. Moore is under center to take the snap. He hands it off to 8. Smith for a quick rush. I don't know if it'll be enough to move the sticks. It'll be close. It will be.
Yep.
That'll be a Cardinals first down.
That one up the gut, but enough to move the chains. Okay, let's do a little over-under. Will they pass? Let's go 2.5 for this half, second half. Or
For the first half?
for the first half, what am I saying? Yeah.
Under.
All right.
Looks like, who's that? Smith will take the ball again, breaking a few tackles, finally taken down by Cox with a heavy tackle, but not before he gained plenty of yardage for, that is a first down for the Cardinals. They'll have a 1st and goal on the 9-yard line. So for them, they don't have another first down to get. It's just a touchdown or turnover.
The end zone is in sight.
End zone is definitely in sight.
This would be a great response to the Swathers touchdown.
Yeah, and it's fairly quick too. They haven't had that many plays. Looks like Moore takes it, hands it off again to Smith, who gets met by the Swather line, led by Hartung and McCormick, it appears.
Looking for 4 more yards. And my guess is they would go for it. 5 more yards. And they would go for it on 4th down. So.
Oh, yeah. In high school, I think they definitely go for it at this point if it comes to 4th down. But we'll see what they go with. They have a receiver out wide and Moore under center. Looks like they have some motion. They'll just, can't tell, was that a quick handoff? Yeah, a quick handoff to Robinson up
Looks
the
like
middle.
they're very close to that goal line.
They're just inching forward.
We'll see what the Swather defensive line can do. If they can hold them, this would be a huge confidence boost.
Oh, for sure. Hoisington coach, I'm sure they'll just draw up yet another run play. We'll see if it's, but perhaps not. We'll see. Moore's back under center. A little bit of motion. Looks like he keeps it and dives, but will it be enough?
I
It
do
is
not believe
He
so.
is short.
It comes down to this.
So it will be 4th and not much for the end zone, unless 4th and 1.
1 yard, 3 feet.
So this will test the discipline of the Swather defense as well as the discipline of the Hoisington line to get their blocks in place.
As a coach, I would be very nervous. I feel like to make this play, choose the right one to get your team into the end zone.
Yeah, but I know the coaches practice goal line plays a lot for this situation. So I'm sure the Hoisington coach has a number of plays he can choose from, and I'm sure he'll be confident in whatever decision he makes. Looks like they're taking a while to make this decision. We'll see. Looks like they'll need a timeout to talk it over.
He wants to get it right.
I don't blame him.
Just make it sit. Let them sit in this anticipation of this play. Let the Swather defense really think about what they're going to do, how they're going to stop this, what I would only assume is a run. I haven't seen anything to prove that it's going to be a pass, but maybe this is the time they bring out a little, oh no, what's it called? A little out route, I guess.
Yeah, just a quick little pass out.
Or something underneath, and just let them go to work on the outside.
I would say that would surprise me a bit if they went for a pass, just based on what I've heard and what they've been proving works for them so far this game.
Yeah, I would assume we'd see a triple option type play. See if up the gut is there, and if it's not, take it to the outside, take your chances. Hopefully you're finding one defender there, and you make that defender make a decision, and you make the other, and it's a touchdown. But we'll see.
With only 1 yard to go, I wouldn't be surprised if they go for another quick snap to Moore, and he just dives or rushes as soon as he touches that ball. He gained 2 yards on it last time, so that would be enough. But we'll see what they have drawn up. Moore is lined up under center. Some motion. Yeah, he takes the ball, and it's a keeper. It appears that he is stopped. We'll have to see what the official call is.
And I do not see a touchdown signal. The Swather sideline going absolutely nuts.
That is a big stop.
That is
4th and 1.
Huge stop. Lane, you called it. That was great commentating.
I'd say that's probably the first time they haven't gained yardage on a play. I feel like they've always gained at least 1 yard on their rushing plays. So for the Swathers to, during that timeout, whatever they talked about and just get in the right mindset to stop that, it really helped.
For sure. That was a very impressive stop. But now, the Swathers face a lot of yards, 99 to be exact, to go and score.
Exactly. On the flip side, they do not have an easy task ahead of them.
Oftentimes, you'll see teams run when they're this close, not risk a pass, not risk a sack and a safety. So we will see. I mean, the Swathers have had a lot of run, and they like to do the jet sweeps. But I wonder if this time they'll just hand it off to Bailey Reed or Tyrone Taylor in the backfield and try to get a little bit of wiggle room as with a run up the gut or something.
Yeah. But I wouldn't also be surprised if Coach Barley wants to go for something a little bigger with Ferrales, because I'm sure Ferrales will be able to make a quick decision if he needs to if he's stuck in the end zone. He'll be able to either get rid of it or make a decision and scramble out of it. That's another big thing. Ferrales, if he can scramble a little bit, I feel like that'll elevate his game a lot this season.
I agree.
We'll see. Ferrales is back to take the snap. It's hard to see. Fumble.
I could not.
It's a safety.
And that is exactly what you wanted to avoid.
Yes, for the Swathers, that's what you did not want to see happen in that play. Coach Bowerly cannot be happy with their execution.
I couldn't quite see through all the players. Was that a run and then the ball got knocked out and could you see what happened?
It was hard to tell. I thought they handed it off to Taylor at the beginning, but then he didn't have the ball. So I don't know if they had 2 running backs or they had a fullback or tight end that dropped back to try to get the ball in a little sweep motion, but we'll see.
The ball definitely came out. And I believe it came out and then it was jumped on by a Swather, but I believe the knee was down and that's why it was a safety.
Oh,
I think that's probably what happened.
they dove on it in the end zone, and that is definitely unfortunate for the Swathers and their mindset coming in this next play.
But 2 points for Hoisington, and they get the ball back.
And the ball. That is, they went from down 1 to up 1. It is now 8-7. Hoisington lead. And they'll have the ball again. And with their rushing, I would not be surprised if they use most of the 5 minutes and 38 seconds left on the clock.
They could definitely run it down all the way to 0 and go up. Yeah, they could go up 16-7.
Yeah.
If they go for 2.
McGovern is back to kick this off from about, it looks like the 20-yard line. Is that the rule in high school?
It seems to be.
That is definitely a farther kick than the first one. 6. Robinson takes the return and is looking for a hole. He finds one, and Jackson Fry finally brings him down after he gains about 20 to 30 yards on that return.
If Jackson was not there, I do believe that would have been taken to the house.
He'd still be running.
Yes. We would be announcing touchdown Hoisington Cardinals, but Jackson Fry with a great tackle.
Yeah, and that was some great lead blocking by the Hoisington Cardinals to open up a hole for Robinson to hit.
Very well said. That is true. The hole was very wide. I've said that multiple times, but it's been the case several times. The blocking has been really well. We have not quite mentioned the Hoisington offensive line as much as we should. Their blocking has been tremendous thus far.
Yeah. They have a lot of size. I know the Swathers were talking about that this week in school, and it's proven to be effective. Looks like Moore will take the snap, hand it off to 8. Smith, who doesn't have much room to run, but picks up a couple yards in that play. And that'll bring up a 2nd and 6 from the Swathers 41.
If I'm the Hoisington Cardinals, I'm taking my time on these plays, letting the clock run down. We know the Swathers can have a very explosive offense, so not letting them any time on the clock can be dangerous for the Swathers. So I would try to run this down
Swathers can strike quick and
as low as you possibly can.
Tony Moore takes the snap, hands it off to 8 Smith again, and it looks like he gains maybe a couple yards again, and he's just taken down by a group of the Swather line. Bring up a 3rd and 3, so he gained 3 yards on that play.
Brings up 3rd and 3.
I have to think that they're going to go for another rush here. They've been doing it all night, and we'll see what motion. They pitch it out to number 4, Alderice, and he gets around the edge. Don't know if it's enough. It looks like it is from this angle, but we'll see. We'll wait for the ref's call, see where they mark it. It is 4th and 1. He did not quite get there.
Wow.
That was a great stop by Proctor on the outside.
The pitch not quite enough. 4th and 1, 1 yard.
We need to have all the little cheers.
I wonder if this brings back some memories of that goal line, of that 4th and 1. Or maybe some extra motivation. Say, guys, we need to get this one.
Yeah.
Do everything you can.
I'm guessing the Cardinals will try a different play this time, but we shall see what they have.
Possibly.
Moore takes a snap, hands it off. Number 24.
It's going to be close.
It'll be close. Kraft was the ball carrier on that play, and he got enough yardage to move the sticks for a Cardinal first down.
Oh, that was a 4-yard gain.
4-yard gain.
It's not as close as I first thought.
Yeah, the Hoisington line definitely pushed the Swathers back just enough for a little gap.
And I wonder if the Swather defense is getting tired. All these run plays, it can be a pretty physical ball.
Yeah.
And just wearing down the Swathers. And we'll see if that has any effect in the second half.
Both of the lines are probably getting worn down with all this rush. And Tony Moore, he steps back, looking for the first pass. He throws it up, incomplete, broken up by Proctor on that play.
So we are at one pass.
He was looking for Hesston down the field, and I don't know.
That is the first pass with 1 quarter down, and then yeah, with 3:45 left in the second.
I bet that definitely surprised the Swathers defense.
Yeah, it was great. Honestly, great coverage.
Yeah.
To knock that pass away after they've been running the entire night.
I'm not sure if that was Proctor's coverage or he just came over to help after he saw the QB drop back, but great read by him. They hand it off to Smith. Oh, never mind. They pitch it back to number 2. Finds a hole and is hit hard by Reed. That was Steiner on the rush.
Bailey Reed came flying in to make that tackle.
I know Reed is definitely not afraid of contact, and he will look for a hard hit any chance he gets.
But another really pretty great option play to draw the Swathers, the first defender, and then pitch out.
Yeah, it faked me out. I thought that he handed the ball off. I was watching the wrong dude, and then I saw him pitch the ball back to Steiner, and Steiner found a hole and gained a couple yards. So now they'll have a 3rd and 7 on the Swather 29. Looking to head up the field before halftime. Moore takes a snap, hands it off to Smith, who has some running room, and it looks like he got enough. Well, we'll see. It'll be close to the first down marker. We'll see where they mark it. Oh, looks like he's just short. Another 4th and short for the Cardinals.
3 4th and 1s thus far in the game. Well, will be 3 4th and 1s.
They definitely get to practice all their short goal line style plays to just get 1 yard. But that's all they need.
Their offense is very well equipped for this this type of yardage.
For sure. The refs stop it. There's a flag on the play. We will see who is it on. Looks like Farrell's is excited because
false start, I believe.
Yes, false start on Hoisington. So that 5-yard penalty brings it back to 4th and 6. So no longer an easy decision to go for it. We'll see if the coach decides to go for it still or if he wants to try another field goal.
Looks like Tony Moore is coming out to talk to the troops.
Looks like they will go for this. 4th and 6. This is a big play for the Cardinals with 2 minutes left. If they can convert this, it will be huge. Oh, he's looking to pass. He throws it up and caught by Hesston.
That was a one-handed catch.
He bobbled it a little bit and then reached out with his, it appeared to be just his right hand to haul it in. That was a great catch in the end zone by Hesston.
And a great throw, really.
Yeah.
I mean, led him really pretty well, just over the heads of the Swather DB. And that one-handed catch was beautiful. I mean, reeled it in. I don't know if his other hand was tangled, which very well could be.
Very well.
Oftentimes, wide receivers and DBs get into a little bit of contact. So, but that reeled it in one-handed and held on to it after I believe Jake Proctor came over and the safety position delivered a hard blow.
Yeah. Proctor was definitely only trying to knock the ball loose at that point to make it incomplete. Looks like Morales is back to kick the extra point. The kick is up, and it is no good. Wide to the right. It's definitely hard to tell from this angle, but
for sure.
Now Hoisington takes a 14-7 lead with 2 minutes left in the second quarter.
Swathers still have a fighting chance to tie it up before the half. It will be a tall order.
Yeah, with their quick hit offense, I wouldn't be surprised if they go for big plays, but also I think just to get rolling before halftime, even if they don't score, just some momentum going into half would be huge for the Swathers.
100%. We'll see what they draw up here going in for this, what could possibly be final drive of the half. You never know. High school football, crazy things can happen, but what we would assume.
Yeah, we've already seen a fumble and a near interception.
And then another near fumble.
And I guess, yeah, another near fumble that resulted in a safety. So the Swathers, their turnover, that'll be a point of focus for them, I guarantee.
And the fumble. So there's been 3 fumbles?
Oh, yeah, because they did recover their own fumble over here. And then they had a lost fumble and the fumble in the end zone, as well as a ball that was nearly intercepted. So
Maybe just a few miscommunications
Probably.
early in the season. Often happens.
Taylor Morales will kick for Hoisington.
Morales will kick it off again for Hoisington. There's not much wind tonight, so that's not much of a factor, but we'll see. He can boot this one down. Here's we have Sanchez and Fry back again to return. The kick is up. It looks like Fry will take it again. He's being patient, looking for a hole, and he makes a move and gets hit hard.
Jackson
Met
Fry on the return.
by multiple Cardinals on that. Gets up to around the 26, I believe.
Yeah. So they will start this drive on their own 26-yard line with just over 2 minutes left.
26-yard line.
Is there a 2-minute warning in high school?
There is not.
So
You
that
just
is not a play, so they just keep going.
The Swathers, however, do have 3 timeouts, something to keep in mind
Yes.
as they march down the field to stop the clock.
Yes, they still have all their timeouts, which will be big for them, I think.
I
We'll
agree.
see.
I almost wonder if they'll take a shot down the field early. Just catch them off guard.
They have 3 receivers out on the near side of the field, and Frowell's back. He takes the snap. He's looking that way. A quick pass out to Diller. That was a nice little gain. Out quick to Diller.
Out of bounds quickly, stop the clock. Smart football
And
by the
it
Swathers.
looks like it might move the stick. Oh, it's close. They'll have 2nd and 1. So that was a good gain, a good quick gain.
It was a great.
And then get out of
Great
bounds,
play call.
stop the clock, which is essential with, well, not essential yet because there's still 2 minutes left, but it will be. So Fowles is back. He takes a snap. He's looking down the field again. Quick pass to Proctor. Makes a man miss. Makes another man miss. And he is brought down by number 12, Marcus Ingram for the Cardinals.
Tony Moore making the stop.
They kind of left the middle of the field open there, trying to protect the sidelines, and Alice delivered to Proctor.
Looks like they're in a more of a hurry-up option. They call a quick play here. Maybe catch the Cardinals' defense off guard. Corrales takes a snap, and it looks like he is scrambling on his own. He makes a move. He's still on his feet, and he just slides down to avoid big contact, really.
Tried to scramble, tried to create something out of nothing, trying to direct traffic down the field, but just got a little tied up in the backfield with the Hoisington Cardinals swarming him.
Yeah. Swathers will take a timeout to talk things over, but when Frowles is out rolling, or just rolling out, he's always a threat to release the ball.
He gets me
With any step, he can just all of a sudden just sling it up to like 40, 50 yards down the field with accuracy.
It almost reminds me, this isn't technically a fair comparison, but Patrick Mahomes.
Very true.
Anytime Patrick Mahomes scrambles, I always think something's going to be crazy. It's going to be a pass 50 yards down the field, completion.
Oh, yeah.
But so anytime Hudson scrambles, I always get a little bit excited because I think a big play is coming.
Yeah, and his receivers definitely have to know to keep working, because if their DB or whoever's on coverage with them just glances back, that might be enough for them to just make a quick break and have a wide open deep ball.
And Alice has the arm to get it there.
Oh, yeah. We'll see. They are on the 49-yard line. It's hard to tell which side of half. Appears to be the Hoisington 49. So we'll have a 2nd and 6 on the 49 with 1 minute and 36 seconds left. Frowles is back again. We'll see. He's looking to pass, and he's motion around. He lets it go. A deep throw to Proctor, who makes a great catch with the defender's arm over his back. That was Steiner in the coverage. It was good coverage, in my opinion.
Great coverage.
But Proctor makes the last-second adjustment to come back and make that catch. That's
Alice
a big yard.
launched that ball, just launched that ball up and trusted his receiver.
Yeah, that's
to
a
make
lot
play.
of trust. Because with the ball in the air that amount of time, another DB could easily come over and pick that off. So he'll take another snap. He's looking down the field again. He delivers a dime to the end zone. That's Jackson Fry again with a touchdown. That was a nice bullet pass straight to the end zone.
And great hands. I mean, defender right
Yes.
on his tail. Oh, we got the band right in our ear. The defender right on his tail. And he was able to ignore and make the magnificent catch.
Great touchdown. Gotta love the band. Always playing for touchdowns. McGovern with the extra point. It's up. That's a nice looking kick, and it is good.
We're tied. 1 minute, 15 seconds remaining. I wonder.
Oh, they added the point to the wrong team on the scoreboard. Looks like they'll have to fix that. Should be 14-14. Ah, there they go.
I wonder if we'll see some more passing. You know, we'll just wait.
Oh, yeah.
And we're back
Yes.
after the lovely On Wisconsin by our Swather band. But I wonder if the Hoisington Cardinals will look to pass maybe a little bit more with this minute 15, or if they'll just go in.
I wouldn't be surprised to see some, not trick plays necessarily, but misdirection, because they've had success with getting deeper plays with just little misdirection and then a quick pitch out to one of their running backs. And
Definitely something to look for with limited time remaining.
And they only have, do they have one timeout left? I think they've used 2.
Correct. They have 1 timeout left. So with that run-heavy offense, the clock would continue to run. So it is something to keep in mind with only 1 timeout.
Alderice and looks like Smith, no. Robinson back to return. Robinson takes the kick. He's looking for a gap. He's hit early but breaks a couple tackles. Taken down by 16. Keegan Sheelight.
A great job by, I believe, Bailey Reed? Was that Bailey Reed? Or is yes, that was Bailey Reed flying down the field.
Get the early hit to slow him down.
Yeah, the early hit to slow him down for the rest of the Swathers.
I know players like him are looking for those highlight hits on kickoff where they can get to the player quick. And if they get a clean hit, those can be nice plays.
Definitely would go in a highlight reel video for SSN.
Yeah. So the Cardinals starting on their own 30-yard line with 1 minute and 10 seconds left on the clock. We'll see what they have drawn up now. Tony Moore, he fumbles the snap, and he just has to fall on it at that point. That is the smart decision there. But
maybe a little nerves. I don't know.
Yeah.
But really only 2 major miscommunications in the Hoisington Cardinal offense so far, which first game of the season is not bad.
Yeah, for sure. So they'll have a 2nd and maybe 11, about maybe a yard loss on that play, but they're pretty much the same position they were before on their own 30-yard line, looking to drive up the field. There's motion, and Moore keeps the ball, and he is met, but not before he gains about 5, maybe 6 yards on a little cut.
And I believe they're probably just going to settle going into the half, tied 14-14 with 18 seconds and the clock still running down.
Yeah, if they want to do something, I'm guessing their coach would have called a timeout there. Yeah, with 10 seconds left, they'll probably just run it out at this point. But doesn't appear that they're lining up to do anything major. So that is the first half of football. Hesston Swathers versus Hoisington Cardinals.
14-14. We will now take a break and let you guys enjoy the little cheer camp who have been practicing very hard. And we will be back. But until then, enjoy the little cheer camp.
We are back for a second half of Swather football, 14-14. The Swathers have another entrance coming out of the half, another iconic entrance, I'd say, running through a banner that says "Crush the Cardinals."
Always prepared by our cheerleaders the day before. Always some sort of a alliteration, I guess that would be. Is it an alliteration if it's just 2 words?
Crush the Cardinals? Probably. I don't know. That's a question for Mr. Stuart Busenitz himself.
Yes, it is.
The Hesston High School Pep Band.
They will run through the tunnel made by the cheerleaders and the student section. Also, it always gives me chills when I stand in those lines and watch them run through.
Especially as like a middle schooler.
Oh, for
You're looking
sure.
up to the high schoolers, you're like, oh man, this is so cool.
Yeah.
As you can see, hopefully, the theme for tonight is neon, so lots of bright colors out there. We just handed out glow sticks for everybody. Hopefully brighten up the night a little bit with some more neon colors. Well, the first half, 14-14. Lots of chances, I would say, on both sides.
Yeah, and I'd say a lot of missed chances, too.
Yes.
I'd say the Cardinals did a good job of forcing turnovers, which if they're emphasizing that, congrats to them because they did a very good job of doing that. And then just converting. Their running play is definitely strong, and I wouldn't be surprised if they continue to go with that most of the second half.
And Lane, I believe you were right on the over-under. A little callback. I believe they only threw twice.
And the over-under was 2.5?
2.5, so it came close.
I guess I'm just a professional gambler.
But, no, I think they're going to stick with a similar game plan. The Swathers, try to wear down the Swathers, see if they can have some big run plays again, open up the offense.
Oh, yeah.
See how the lines, I think it's going to be a battle of the lines in the second half.
Yeah. And the Hoisington line definitely has a size advantage looking at these rosters, but I don't know experience. It looks like they're fairly experienced too. So these lines, it's a great matchup for the first game for 2 experienced lines to go against each other.
Yes, it is indeed. The question is, will Hoisington's line be able to push the Swathers' defensive line far enough, and will the Swathers' offensive line be able to hold and give Hudson Ferralis enough time? As we approach the start of the second half. Just like 0-0, 14-14.
That's what I'm sure Coach has mentioned that at least once. I know when I was playing rec sports growing up, whenever it was tied at half, Coach always said 0-0.
Yeah.
Coming out of half, so we'll see.
See who has more grit, who has more guts to see who will achieve the glory.
Yeah, I guess that's a good way to put it. You see Ferrell's out there warming up his arm, getting loose, smiling. He just loves the game. You can tell that when he's playing and practice and going to school with him too. You can just see.
Fun fact, we sit at a lunch table with Hudson Ferralis.
We do.
Get to talk to him every day, so that is fun.
Certainly entertaining. We have some good times. I guess, yeah.
We do have good times. All right, so the Swathers did receive in the first half, meaning they will kick off here in the second.
So McGovern will have another chance to boot the ball down the field. I've heard he can kick touchbacks. We haven't seen it yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if one of his next kick is at least close to a touchback. I've seen him do it in practice when I'm out here after school. I've just seen him do it a couple times. So
for sure. See if he catches the ball right this time and sends it that, what is it, 60 yards to the end zone?
Yeah, kickoff from the 45, is it? Or 40?
40? I think it's a 40. The other 40.
Yeah. It's a pretty hefty kick for high school kicker. But
that is a pretty hefty kick.
But I know McGovern's got the leg for it
And the Swathers take the field, and here come the Hoisington Cardinals. As we await the start of this, and we have Robinson and Alderdice back to receive. And here's McGovern's kick. Off to the side. Alderdice takes it up the field. It is wrapped around, still trying to run and take down by 3 or 4 Swathers. A couple of arms in there to slow him down for the rest of the Swathers.
Armani McGovern making the tackle for Hesston.
Armani McGovern, we just heard over the speaker that made the tackle on the play. The kicker running down the field showing no fear.
I'm sure he's always excited, knowing him personally, to go get in some of the action when he does kick off. And you could see the kick receiver, Alderdice, he kind of fumbled the kick. And I know that's always scary when you let the ball hit the ground. It can go any direction.
Football is not like a basketball.
That is for sure.
And here we have more under center. Number 2, Steiner in motion. Handoff to number 8, Smith, for a short gain up the gut.
Yeah, they just keep doing what was working in the first half. Quick handoffs to one of the number of running backs. I've seen them use Smith, Robinson, Alderdice, and Steinhardt all in the running back position.
Getting lots of carries. And then more. We've seen him just take it a couple times himself and just take, like we saw a couple of QB sneaks almost.
Yeah, he's a key player, and I know he is quick on his legs too, and he's not afraid to run it.
Under center once again, same formation as last. Hands it straight up the gut to
Ian Smith, the ball carrier.
Ian Smith, number 8, once again.
Carter Gonzalez making the tackle.
And Carter with the tackle, meeting him right there. And that brings up a 3rd and 6.
I'd say that's 2 of the better defensive plays off the rush, back-to-back that they've had. Only giving up a total of 4 yards in 2 plays, bringing up a huge 3rd down. A 3-and-out here would be huge for the Swathers.
Quite possibly some adjustments made in that locker room talk. Once again, under center. Looks for the option pass, bobbled by Robinson, but then taken down on the outside. Quite possibly could have been the bobbled option pass that allowed the Swathers to get to the outside, get to the runner, and bring him down early.
Yeah, it definitely looked like Robinson was not quite prepared for that ball, because Moore looked like he was turning down the field to take it himself, and then last second pitched it back, which he's done quite a few times this game, and it's been working fairly well, so go ahead.
Number 20, Taylon Morales, back to punt for the Cardinals. It's up and it's away. It's a pretty decent punt. Hits the ground once, and the Swathers are going to let it roll out. Jake Proctor makes a smart decision there to not grab that ball, as the football, as we said earlier, can be very unpredictable.
Yeah, that was definitely a smart decision, and I say Coach Bowerly can rely on Proctor to make those smart decisions. I know just with playing sports his whole life, he can make quick decisions when they need to be done, and he'll make good decisions too.
Smart kid in the classroom too.
Yes, that is also a good thing to know.
And as the Swathers take the field for the first time on offense, I think what worked for him in the first half? Let's talk through that just real quick.
I'd say the jet sweep option, that worked a couple times. There's a couple times it didn't, but I think just different motion. And then what stood out, obviously, was the deep ball. But that's not certainly as reliable, but I wouldn't be surprised if they go for a couple of deep balls.
Hudson Frala sends his into motion, working up the field. I believe that's Carter Gonzalez. Sends him out into motion and then hits him on the underneath to pick up a good chunk of change.
Yeah, Gonzalez is getting a lot of touches this game, which I'm sure he likes. Everyone, I'm sure everyone likes touching the football, but it's definitely something different than what he had to do last year. I think he was mainly defense last year.
And once again, Ferralis in the backfield with Gonzalez on his hip. Hands it off to Gonzalez, running up, trying to find a hole, is fighting, turning his legs.
Carter Gonzalez, the ball carrier.
Met by a swarm.
Tackled by Cole Gilland.
And that will bring up 3rd down and 1.
Is this the first 3rd and short the Swathers have faced this game?
Very well could be. I do not remember, unfortunately.
We'll see what they have to execute on this play. Sure, Coach
Yeah.
Bowerly has perfect play picked for this situation.
Once again, Hudson Ferralis. Hands it off to Bailey Reed. And Bailey Reed does pick up the 1st down, but is absolutely rocked.
Tackled by Tony Moore.
And Tony Moore, who plays quarterback on the offensive end, delivers a massive blow.
Yeah, Moore is definitely an athlete all around. He's made some big defensive plays as well as just being a facilitator on offense. He's just, and his endurance to play both ways consistently is impressive.
We see Ferralis handed off to Carter Gonzalez, who breaks 1 tackle on the outside, keeps running, and then is brought down.
Yeah, Gonzalez might not be the fastest player in pure speed, but he definitely makes up for it with his strength. I know in the weight room with this summer, seeing him lift and stuff, he is definitely strong for his size.
Exactly, a 7-yard gain. Great tackle by Robinson to bring down Carter Gonzalez. Once again, Carter in the backfield with Hudson. 2 wide receivers on the far side. Looking to pass. Takes a shot downfield to Jake Proctor, and it is incomplete, in and out of the hands. Really pretty great defense. Looks to be a little frustrated, maybe looking for some pass interference, but no flags on the play.
I'm sure some words were exchanged between Alderdice and Proctor
He got
after
up
that.
pretty quick, and that is typically a sign of some frustration.
3rd and 3.
So no good. 3rd and 3 on their opposite 43 going down the field. And looks like we are going to have an offsides.
The hard count.
Once again, that is twice now for the Swathers on a 3rd and short. Going for the hard count and getting it. Being successful will move the chains.
Yeah,
Don't have to do work.
I'm sure with all the work Ferralis puts in camps and just different training, they definitely work on the hard count.
And I think this is a skill that some people don't think about.
Yeah, it's definitely a skill. I noticed in NFL and college, there's definitely some quarterbacks that seem like they can do it a lot more effectively.
Ferralis once again with Gonzalez on his hip. Will be looking to pass, scrambles to the near side, throws kind of across the field into nowhere. No one was open, so he decides to take a safe play and just down the ball.
Pass was incomplete. Brings up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, it was definitely a safe play. Smart decision. I think that's one thing that's changed from last year. I think last year he would have thrown into a much more risky situation there where it could have been intercepted or possibly completed, but I think he would have taken a lot more risk in that situation last year.
Yeah, try to force something that's not there. Ferralis in the backfield by himself. And maybe some miscommunication by the Swathers as we had a late Swather run off the field. I see some hands being thrown up in the air. And a timeout by the Swathers. It is still 14-14.
Yeah, I'm sure Coach Bowerly didn't want to use that timeout after saving all his timeouts in the first half. I'm sure he likes to save them because there's situations in the late game where he knows they'll be useful, but if he can talk something over here and find a way to score or, I don't know, just at this point, 1st down and then look to score, that would be huge for the Swathers.
Yeah, we saw that earlier. And the student section going crazy for free things. Anytime you can give free stuff to high school students, they'll go crazy. The cheerleaders throwing out what looked to be some sort of foam stress ball.
Yeah, it looked like little foam footballs that probably sponsored by some business in Hesston.
Exactly, and we love our small businesses here.
Yes, we do.
They do support us. They help us run. The Swathers take the field on a 2nd and 10 on the opposite 38. Hudson with Taylor in the backfield. Hands it off to Gonzalez, who may have slipped a little bit. Looked like he was falling before he got hit by any contact, but nonetheless picks up a solid gain.
Yeah, I wonder if the dry field makes it harder for the players to get footing when they're doing those quick cuts and rush plays.
Exactly, could be. 3rd and 8, 3rd and long, with 6:34 to go. Play action, scrambling to the far side of the field, throws across to Bo Warden on a slant. And Bo Warden was met immediately after he caught it. It did not matter, did not phase Warden as he kept running.
That was a very impressive catch. He definitely took a hard hit, and 1, didn't fall down, and 2, maintained possession of the football after that catch, which that's good for Hudson to know he has a reliable tight end to look for in the middle of the field, usually.
Tight ends can change the game. We kind of saw that last year, bring a little callback with Nick Arnold, who had some major plays and brought some major offense to the Swathers.
And it seems like they're always the less expected, because sometimes they're blocking and then all of a sudden they're wide open.
Tight ends
a quick play like that
do have a tough job. A little toss to Taylor, looking for some room, meets 1, is met immediately at the line of scrimmage by Alderdice.
as well as Linzer, number 61.
But still picks up 4 yards, a hard-fought run by Tyrone Taylor.
Yeah, I'd say him and Gonzalez are probably built about the same. They're smaller, but they have a lot of power behind them.
Yes, they do. And they've seemed to get a lot of use so far in this game. Diller in motion, fakes it to him. Ferralis throwing, and throws it down the seam. What a throw and catch to, once again, Carter Gonzalez. He is having himself a night.
Yeah, and Ferralis, it looked like, I looked away, obviously, when he threw it, but it looked like he took a hit. At least, not a big one, but he had to get out of there at last second. Otherwise, I don't know.
He was committed to that throw. He saw an opening. He took it. Did seem to get hit as he threw. Now we have a 1st and goal on the 2. Hands it off to Taylor. Looking for a C-man. Gets it. Walks in the end zone. That will be Swather's 20. Hoisington 14.
Yes, that was a great drawn-up play. From this angle, it looked like nobody touched him. I'm sure someone did, but the blocking, I don't know. Shout out to the line there for great blocking on that run for Taylor.
Some impressive play calling for the Swathers. A lot of use from Carter Ferralis on that drive, just a sophomore. As McGovern tries for the extra point, and it is good. A perfect 3 for 3 on the day.
I know talking to him previously this week, he said he has a lot of nerves when going up for extra points, just seeing him get blocked before and stuff. So definitely seeing those 3 go in for the rest of this game as well as the rest of the season, that's a huge confidence boost.
Yeah, hopefully he can settle into that and just keep that going for the Swathers. Really a very well put together drive. Not many miscues. A 3rd and 7 or 8, I cannot remember, that they connected with Bo Warden coming across the field as Hudson Ferralis was scrambling for a big pickup on a 1st down. And that, we may look back on that play right there and say that was a turning point for the Swathers in this game if they start to pull away.
Yeah. And I just say the consistency that Gonzalez has showed tonight is really impressive. They've ran with him and passed him, and he's just seemed like he's everywhere on the field.
He really has.
He's on defense too, making tackles. I just feel like he's out there making a big difference tonight and making his name known on this field.
Given his all. And now we await the response of the Hoisington Cardinals, and what we are going to assume, we're never going to say for certain, but what we are going to assume will be a steady run game and how the Swathers will be able to combat that.
Yeah, the Cardinals will now be playing down a touchdown, so that might change their urgency a little bit, but I wouldn't say much.
And returning for the Cardinals, we have Moore and Robinson this time. Kick is off to Robinson, catches it cleanly, takes it to the middle of the field, looking for a hole, gets through the first part of the Swathers, and then brought down by a horde. I see Jackson Fry, Adrian Hernandez, and there was one more.
I believe Carter Gonzalez.
Oh, man. All over. And the Cardinals will set up shop at the 28, heading up the field.
We'll see. The Swathers had a solid defensive stand last possession, if I remember. And we'll see if just what they talked about at halftime, some adjustments they made, if they can repeat that this time.
We see Moore under center. Number 2, Chase Steiner gets the toss, looking for the outside, gets around, looks like he will have a first down, and brought down on the far side of the field.
Yeah, those plays are really effective if they can get the first guy to miss, and that chance, Jackson Fry was blocked just enough for Steiner to get around the edge and find enough room to get a first down.
You did see Fry make such an effort to try and get a hand, but the blocking was just too good. We have number 3, Haxton, and number 5, Elward on the outside, on the near side here. But it is handed off to Smith up the gut, but did not look like he got a whole lot. The Swathers defensive line seemed to be ready for that play. And it looks like we may have an injury.
Officials timeout.
Appears to be Smith.
The ball carrier on the last play. We hope it is nothing serious. Injuries are the worst, to put it simply and plainly. You never want to see an injury. Football is such a physical sport.
I mean, it's almost bound to happen, but you just hope and pray that it never does.
We pray it's nothing serious. Hopefully only a cramp, maybe a Charlie horse or dead leg or something. That is, you can recover quickly from comparatively to something more serious. It does seem to be that he is getting his leg stretched by the trainer. So hopefully it is just a cramp.
We'll be doing a fundraiser starting immediately.
So this will be a nice time for the Swathers to talk over their strategies. It's essentially a timeout without calling one, more or less. So they can talk over it and see what they have looking forward.
So it'll be 2nd and 9 for the Cardinals at their own 40. Going up the field with 4:25 left in the third. Score, Hesston 21, Hoisington 14. Alrighty, and we have Moore under center with number 24, Taryn Kraft, in the backfield now. And it looks like Moore, it keeps it, heading up the gut once again, trying to read that Swather defense.
Looks to be stopped by Aiden O'Halloran on that play. He was the initial hit, and good to always stop get a hit on the runner early at least to slow him down so the rest of the tacklers can help.
And that will bring up 3rd and 8. 2 1-yard gains. We'll see what the Cardinals bring out here.
We'll see if they decide to try another pass.
In motion, Robinson hands it off to number 24, Taryn Kraft, but looks to go almost nowhere. 3 runs and 3 of them straight up the gut will bring up 4th and 7 or 8.
Yeah, and it appears the Hoisington coach will bring out a punting unit. It's not quite late enough to go for this 4th down yet, but
no, still plenty of time left in the ball game. However, like we said earlier, they do run the ball a lot, which means the clock will constantly be running.
That is true. There's only 3 minutes left.
It can definitely help you, but it can also hurt you.
Yeah.
As we have Talon Morales back to punt and Jake Proctor for the Swathers to receive. It's up. It's punted near to the near side and gets a favorable roll for the Cardinals. Tough from this angle to see where it landed.
15-yard line where Hesston will take over first and 10.
I believe we heard the 15, so really a great change of field for the Cardinals. Great punt by Talon Morales.
So the Swathers will start. Is this their second drive of the half? They had the
Yes.
first drive resulting in touchdown. So this is their second drive, hoping to repeat what happened in the first drive.
I'll tell you what, it feels like that should be really easy to remember, but for some reason you get up here, you're watching the game, you're trying to commentate, and it's hard to remember if this is their first or second drive. Not their first, their second or third drive, I should say.
Yeah, they had a lot of quick drives in the first half, and it just feels like they should have more, but I think this is their second of the half.
We have Ferralis, which looks to be alone in the backfield. Never mind, I was dead wrong. He definitely handed that ball off to who I think was Carter Gonzalez.
Bailey Reed, ball carrier.
Never mind, I was wrong again. 0 for 2. Bailey Reed with the carry.
Turn cross.
You can't get everyone right, can you?
We're still learning up here. We're still learning. We will get better as the season goes along, but
No gain on the play brings up 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10, no gain on the play. Still at the 15, 2:20 left to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, and with Swather's heavy pass game, I'd expect the pass here almost. We'll see what they do, but
Lane, you are right. Hudson is looking and looking. He scrambles to the far side, then back to the near side. Going on a run, makes a little move up the sideline. And a great run by Hudson Ferralis, typically known as a pocket passer.
yeah, and even if he's rolling out to his side, he usually looks to try to fit a pass in somewhere. But for him to pull that down, that just shows maturity and just the growth he's made since last year, being willing to get it on his own legs and prove that he can do that, basically.
A solid 15-yard gain before he was ran out of bounds. And I believe he used a little pump fake there, and like you mentioned, he usually scrambles and passes, so that may have very well affected the defender. Diller in motion, and it's a pass, shovel pass to Diller, who looks for the outside. Picks up a decent gain of about 3 or 4.
And I think, as I can remember, they've used Diller in jet sweep a lot throughout his high school career. I remember last year, and as well as sophomore year, I think is when they really started. He had a couple jet sweeps where he's just able to turn on the jets because he was great at track, he's quick, so.
He's a very fast athlete. Fun fact about Colton Diller, his first touch ever in a varsity game was a touchdown, I believe, if I remember right, sophomore year.
On a jet sweep.
Jet sweep. He ran it for 21 yards here at Hesston, the Hobbs Stadium. And we have a flag, what I believe may be another offsides. We will find out. I know there was a hard count, and Hudson Ferralis seemed to be clapping.
Encroachment call against Hoisington.
Encroachment. So, a Hoisington player must have touched a Hudson player. Or is that how that works, or is that the line of scrimmage?
I'm not sure. The offsides, encroachment, I know they're different, but I don't know the differences. I
Yeah.
can't tell you that. So,
We are not quite
but
experts.
that's still 5 yards for the Swathers, and they'll get a first down.
Penalties have been hurting the Cardinals a little bit here. Ferralis in the backfield with Taylor. Seems to, never mind. Whoa.
A little trickery. I think he handed off to Taylor, who pitched it back to Gonzalez, and he got around the corner, and he had some room. It appeared that he just slipped when he was trying to make that turn.
It did seem that way. I believe that is a similar play to what they tried to run on their own goal line. And we had a
that
little
resulted
bit,
in the safety.
and resulted in the safety. Worked much better here, had more room to work. We'll bring up 2nd and 5 as we have another Cardinal player.
Yeah, there's
On
a
the
Cardinal player down around the 40-yard line. So both benches get to talk over their strategies a little bit as the game progresses.
You wonder if it is, the longer the game goes on, a lot of these players play both sides. Their muscles definitely can feel that factor, and you wonder if it's cramps starting to affect both sides, or I guess more so the Cardinals at this point.
Yeah, I think the Cardinals had 8 players that went both ways, and the Swathers had 7, which they don't play every snap both ways. That would be too much. But they get a lot of action, those few players that start going both ways.
Definitely some talented athletes here at Hobbs Stadium.
And that's why it's important for them in practice to not only get physical conditioning, but also mental conditioning. Because just to be mentally ready for every play, I don't know if I could do it, honestly. I think just getting in the mindset to basically give it your all, just one play at a time, is really impressive for both teams.
That is an excellent point. It seems we will resume action with 58 seconds left in the third. 2nd and 5 on their own 48. As the Cardinals come out to defend. Diller on the near side, Proctor on the far side. Taylor in the backfield. And it is a handoff to Taylor, who takes the outside and is stuffed by Robinson, but not after gaining a few yards.
Yeah, it didn't appear to be enough for a first down. It'll be close, I think, but he almost got around the corner on that play.
Tyrone Taylor tried to bulldoze his way through Robinson, but Robinson did not have it. Stuffed Taylor one-on-one.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. I know I definitely could not stop Taylor in a one-on-one situation like that.
I'd probably just
I'd move out the way, honestly.
What are the people called with the bowl who had like the red blankets or whatever? As he hands it off to Carter Gonzalez, who is tackled by Ian Smith and is dragged down. He will be close to a first down.
He had some patience on that play, which is good, but I think if he just it looked like there was a hole where he could have turned the corner and just hit it and gotten enough for the first down. Looks like Ian Smith is down again. I wonder if he's just cramping again, because I know first game, if he's a little dehydrated or something, that can happen a lot.
And it can be if you cramp once, and then you can occasionally cramp in the same spot after trying to stretch out. So we have 1 second here in the third.
So you'll have to run the last.
Oh,
well,
never mind. The refs, and that'll be the end of the third. And yeah, that is the end of the third. 21-14. The Swathers are up. 4th and 1 on the 48.
Hoisington 14.
So now we've played 3 quarters of football. There's 1 left. We'll see who can have the mental and physical toughness for the last quarter.
We'd like to thank all of the sponsors at SSN, from SSN, that have supported us this year. We have been able to enroll more students in our programs and continue to create quality content largely because of your support. So, from all of us at the Swather Sports Network, thank you.
You know, I'd like to shout out our sponsors. It's a lot of small businesses locally in Hesston.
It is.
And I don't know. For me, it's just nice to see all of them just willing to sponsor our class and just build the rest of our students.
Yeah, I mean, you saw on that graphic all of those small businesses that are willing to support the Swather Sports Network, and we are so appreciative of that and everything that you guys do for us that allows us to bring you this stream and bring you other videos and other content like our podcast, The Cut.
Well, yeah, you can check that out on YouTube too.
Yep, you can check it out all on YouTube, all on the Swather Sports Network.
And I know there'll be different game day posts with other students on the Instagram page and Twitter, and stuff like that.
Yep, we're on the social medias. Give us a follow. Hudson Ferralis in the backfield with Carter Gonzalez. We'll hand it off to Carter Gonzalez, looking for 1 yard. Swathers are pointing one way, Cardinals are pointing the other. We'll see what the final decision is. This may require the chains to be brought out.
It'll be close because it looks like even though it's 4th and 1, the ref signals no.
A stuff and a stop by the Cardinals. Just what they needed to start this 4th quarter. At midfield, only have 50 yards to go to score, to try and tie this game up.
Hoisington takes over 1st and 10 at their 40.
But at that point, I feel like you have to go for that 4th down. At half field, I mean, you can punt and maybe pin them, but I don't know. In high school, this is the play you normally see.
Yeah, this is definitely the play. Punting, pinning them inside the 20 takes tremendous skill and years of practice.
Yeah, and I'd say most football teams just teach someone to punt the year of the season and just go with it.
As more what I thought looked to pass at first, but saw no one. I could be wrong, but it almost looked like he was shuffling around looking for a pass. No one was open, and so took a scramble.
Yeah, it looked like he was looking downfield for Hesston, but Diller had good coverage on him, and then Proctor had good coverage on the other side, just making sure that there was no available outs for
trying to catch the Swathers napping on the run and leaving someone deep open. Did not happen. 2nd and 7. Going down the field. A pitch out to Robinson, who has the edge. Chased down from behind by Jake Proctor. What a tackle and what a chase down.
Great tackle. You can see Jake he had to turn on the jets there to be able to catch him, and then he just laid it all out there to get that tackle.
A little bit of a dive, I think.
Yeah, he definitely dove to save. At least so the Cardinals could not get a 1st down in that situation. It'll bring up a pretty big 3rd and 3 in my opinion.
This would be a huge 3 and out for the Swathers.
Well, they definitely go for it on 4th down.
That's true.
But
would have to be a 4 and out.
We'll see what the Cardinals have.
Looks like it was Robinson who was tripped up pretty much right as he got the ball. Don't know if there was any gain on the play.
Yeah.
Seemed to have just reached the ball out to get to the line of scrimmage.
It looked like his knee hit early, and then he continued to kind of crawl forward. But at that point, there's obviously no point because he's marked down.
So like you said, Lane, 4th and 3, they are going for it. A large play for both sides.
This is huge for both sides.
With only less than 10 minutes remaining in the game with a run-heavy offense. And once again, I believe
it appears that
Ian Smith, not Robinson. I got my numbers a little confused, got the handoff and took it up the gut and got enough for a 1st down. A huge conversion for the Cardinals.
Yeah, it's good to see Smith back out there after he was down a couple times with either just something sore, cramps, whatever. It's good to see him back out there, back at the game.
As the Cardinals continue to march down the field. And Smith once again with another carry. Solid yards gained. Looks to be about 5.
Yeah, that was a strong run. It looked like Warden was hanging from his waist for about the last 5 steps of that run. It looked like Warden was just hanging, trying to pull him down, and then it took us another Swather to take him down at the end of that run.
And once again, we see a very similar formation, more under center. Robinson in motion, but it is handed straight up the gut once again to Smith. 3 runs in a row and 3 solid gains.
Yeah, they're definitely going back to what worked in the 1st quarter. Just, I'd say 3 to 6 yard gains on every run, just wearing us down, or wearing the Swathers down.
It is a tough, hard-nosed style of offense, but it is working tonight for the Cardinals. As it is 3rd and 1, student section trying to help out the Swathers. And another run up the gut. This time by Taryn Kraft, giving Smith a little bit of a break, but has enough to pick up the first down.
Yeah, it looked like his goal there was just to shoot through a gap and get just enough for a 4th down. His head was down. He wasn't really looking for any more gaps. He was just head down, get the first down, and he did that very successfully.
Another sophomore to highlight, as Taryn Kraft is just a sophomore on the other side of the ball for the Hoisington Cardinals.
Those young players are really stepping up. That's what I know the Hoisington coach wanted.
I believe Smith on the carry for another, what looks to be 2 to 3, maybe even 4-yard gain. Just trugging? That's not a word.
Yeah, it can't be.
Well, maybe it'll be a word on the SSN stream from now on. Trugging along.
Back 3 on the play brings up 2nd and 7.
As we have Hesston on the near side of the field as the only wide receiver, Fry on him. But where all the action happens is under center. Pitch out to Robinson. Jackson Fry tries to get him in the backfield, doesn't quite do it, and then is dragged out of bounds by Brett Cox and Tyrone Taylor.
Yeah, that would definitely be a highlight for Fry if he could have got through that gap. He got around his block and got that tackle, but that was a good move by Robinson to get around the edge and avoid Fry.
Couldn't quite get the shoelaces.
It looked like Fry got 2 hands on him, but I guess maybe Robinson just shrugged him off and said, not today.
Not
just kept
today. 3rd and 3.
Another big 3rd down.
They've seemed to be getting about 3-yard chunks. We'll see if the Swathers can put an end to that. Not under center. This may be the first time we've seen this. But a flag comes out. The Swathers are clapping.
We'll see what the call is from the head referee. It's a false start on the Hoisington Cardinals.
That hurts.
Yeah, that definitely hurts. It goes from a 3rd and 3, 3rd and short, to a 3rd and long, and a 3rd and 8, which is definitely changed the play call because I'm sure they had some short run or something.
I mean, it was a different formation. Moore has been under center almost all night, and there what looked to be, I believe, the pistol. I don't know my formations entirely all too well, but I believe it was the pistol.
Looks like they will go to it again.
Pistol or shotgun?
Something.
Bobbled snap, still manages to hang on to it. Gets back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard more.
But that extra half second where the ball was in there bobbled, that gave the Swathers plenty of time to react and just collapse, so he had nowhere to go.
It did indeed. Almost looked like a wildcat play, but you know, with a wildcat, they catch it to the running back, and they just typically look for the goal as an extra blocker, but this time it was just to the quarterback because Tony Moore is such an athlete, and he can just do that.
Oh, yeah, that's a good, I'm sure that was, as you said, much like a wildcat play. He was just supposed to take the ball and just turn on the jets upfield.
But brings up a 4th and 7 with 6 minutes remaining. They seem to be
I don't know, they seem content in taking their time, even though they're down 7. So I'm not sure if they're gonna, looks like they'll take a timeout here to talk things over.
At 5:51 left to go in the 4th. 4th and 7, a large play for the Hoisington Cardinals.
Yeah.
As their offense can make the clock tick down, which if you're ahead, if these scores were reversed, it would be very dire for the Hesston Swathers.
Oh yeah, definitely. But this 4th and 7, I think this play will probably maybe not decide the game, but if they don't get it, then they'll have to work hard to get that ball back.
It is true. However, with the Swathers, would they change their offense to be more run heavy in this last 6 minutes of play? Should they get a stop to try and get some time to run off the clock? Both teams with just 2 timeouts. I guess we'll find out. Can't predict the future.
Cannot. But you can make a guess. Guessing they'll go for another run.
And we are back and ready to resume action for 4th and 7 on the 24.
I know we've said a lot of big plays so far this game, but this is probably the biggest one yet.
Looking out, going to pass. Third pass. Oh, he's wide open.
Oh my.
A blown coverage by the Swathers.
They had number 5, MJ Elward, wide open in the end zone.
Fully convinced it was a run. The safety was not present. And the Swathers catch a massive break.
But the coach definitely won't let Fry forget that coverage was not great. You can see Proctor giving to him. I'm sure Proctor's advice was good in that situation. And
the senior,
I mean, Fry knows his mistake, and he won't be doing that again.
The veteran, giving the young guy, well, junior, so not too young, but some advice.
Yeah.
But yes, definitely a break for the Swathers and a missed opportunity for the Cardinals.
Yeah, that was a well-thrown ball. Just floating up there, he just had to run under it.
In motion, Proctor, and a little shovel pass to him, see if he can do something to work. I believe the tackle was made by Chase Steiner.
Yeah, he was met hard by Steiner. He was the first one, and then after that hit, he basically just was slowed down and went out of bounds. Which is, oh, it looks like he stayed in bounds because the clock will continue to run, which is big for the Swathers. Because at this point, do you think they're trying to run clock, or you think they're still going to attack hard?
I think they're going to run a lot of plays, kind of like those jet sweeps, try to get some people out on the edge, see if they can get some yardage. Like 7 yards right there is great. And just try. And now, I mean, my guess would be a handoff to Taylor, kind of up the gut.
Yeah, that's
right
a good
here,
prediction.
just keep draining some clock. Instead, it is to Carter Gonzalez to the outside and picks up a good chunk of yards.
It's an impressive run. You can see after he hit that initial hole, Kraft was on his back trying to rip out the ball, and he almost turned Gonzalez around, pulling on that ball. So that's good ball protection by Gonzalez.
Gonzalez is a strong man, as just a sophomore, and will not let go of the pigskin. And the Swathers taking some time to call their next play, draining that clock. With
like
Ferralis in the backfield and Taylor on his left. It looks like it'll be a pass as a rollout to the far side of the field. A flag is thrown. Hits a man across the field.
It looked like Hernandez.
I believe you are right. I believe that was Adrian Hernandez who caught it, but a flag was thrown. And like we said earlier, anytime I see someone going out wide and a flag is thrown, I think holding.
Automatically think holding. Well, we'll see what looks like they're walking back a little bit. We'll see.
And it is indeed holding on the Swathers as Hudson Ferralis was rolling out to the far side of the field.
And that's, I mean, it's not devastating for the drive, but it's after they just had 2 good plays in a row, and that was a good play too. It's just the momentum was just killed a little bit by that hold, even though I'm sure in that position, all the line is thinking about is protecting their QB, and that's just a tough situation.
The more penalizing factor of that penalty, other than the yards, might be that the clock stops because of the penalty. Now just sitting still.
Because they had a completion in the middle of the field where it would have kept running.
Exactly.
Now they have a 1st and 23.
Where Hoisington has not used any timeouts yet. Still at 2. Looking for a little wide receiver screen to Jake Proctor. Beats one guy, beats another. And makes it up for a large. I've said large a lot tonight. I need to get away from that word, but that was an enormous. We'll go with enormous.
Yeah, that
amount.
was he was making some shifty moves there. I know he made more miss, which I'm sure he's exhausted from playing all the downs both ways. But Yeah, that was some great running by Proctor, and I'm sure they wanted to go to him as a senior because they know he'll get it done.
2nd and 1, 3:37 on the clock. Hudson tries to get them offsides once again in that short, the 2nd and short, which we've seen on the 3rd and short.
That was a 22-yard gain, but it was not a first down.
It's a lot of yards. And a handoff to the outside to Carter Gonzalez, but the Cardinals knew this was coming. They have seen it all night. They were ready for it, and they jumped on it this time.
Yeah, he was met immediately by number 24, Kraft. And it appears someone is injured. So another official timeout.
Indeed.
Oh,
Looks to be number 24, Taryn Kraft.
after he made that great tackle for a loss, actually.
A loss of 3, which is a big boost for the Cardinals. If they could get a stop here, once again, near midfield, so you would expect the Swathers might go for it. Although with time ticking, they may just want to punt it and make them go the whole field.
Yeah, I'd say if they don't get much gain on this play, they just punt it away because Hoisington hasn't. They've got a couple big plays, but their big threat is not to get big plays. So I think they'd force them to get the big play because at this point, even with a score, they'd be tied. So
exactly.
I think Coach Bowerly, I mean, he can always take the risk. I don't know, he's pretty bold. He'll take risks, but in this situation, I don't see that happening.
With this much time on the clock, I think you are right and that they would punt. Now, let's say it gets down to maybe minute 30, and you take, like, if you take that risk, and let's say they've used all their timeouts, game's over, and you get that first down. But with 2 timeouts and this 3:13 on the clock, I think you are right, Lane. I think you are a smart man that they would punt. As Taryn Kraft seems to be getting his leg worked on the field, is sitting up now, standing up, and is walking off.
It's on his own, but he appears to be hobbling on his left leg, which is never good. Players are giving respect, clapping as he walks off. It's good to see.
And the Swathers probably use that as a timeout to come up with something here on this 3rd and 4.
If I had to make a prediction, I'd say I think they'll go with Proctor just because consistency. He's been consistent most of the game. What do you think?
He has shown that they are pressing Proctor as to probably hope and try to spur away from that wide receiver screen. We could possibly see him in motion to get him some space, or possibly Diller on a jet sweep.
Yeah, both of those plays would not surprise me. Looks like Hudson is content to take as much time as he needs off that clock.
And the Swathers will use a timeout.
I mean, that was great time management. They told Hudson not to snap, just trust the coaches to get the timeout off so there wasn't a delay game.
I did see a hard count in there, but no one was fooled. Swathers may have just gone out there without a play in mind. I don't know football that well and said, hey, we're just going to take a timeout. No one move.
No one move. If we get a hard count, great, but if we don't, it's fine.
And now they'll draw up something for this 3rd and 4. On their own 43 with 2:34 to go. Hesston up 21, Hoisington 14. This is where the rubber meets the road. Right here with 2:32 left. 1-score game. Who's gonna make the smart decisions really is what I think it's gonna boil down to. Yeah. We've seen all the talent on both sides of the ball, some really impressive stuff from both teams. But who is going to boil down? Boil down?
Boil down.
Sure. Boil down.
Yeah.
And make the good decisions.
Yeah, make the right play. Both teams are capable. It just depends which one can do it now when they need it. I can tell they switched coverage from Robinson to Alderdice on Proctor.
Alderdice, a little bit smaller defender. We'll see if that plays any decision into the Swathers play call. Looking, and they do go to Proctor. makes Chase Steiner miss, and I believe picked up enough for the first down. He did. The chains are moving.
And I wonder at that point in the huddle if coach is just like, just asked Proctor, he's like, can you do it? And he's like, yes.
I bet you're right.
And he just,
And he did.
give me the ball, I'll make the play. And
Made one move, got past to the initial defender, which was all he needed to do in order to pick
with
up
the
the
clock,
first
they can, even if they don't pick up another first down, they're able to take off a lot of the clock if
That is true.
Hoisington chooses not to take timeouts. So
It will be interesting to see when they do choose to take those, if they'll try and save them for offense or if they'll have to use them on defense.
I'm guessing they're going to have to use them based on the, we'll see.
Diller in motion. It is a handoff this time to Diller. Not quite a shovel pass. I believe that was a direct handoff.
Yeah. He gained a little bit on that play, but it's more just make a safe play, hold on to the ball, and then let the clock run, because we are down to only 1 minute and 30 seconds left.
Hoisington still not choosing to use a timeout.
I think after this play, if the clock continues to run, I think they need to. Otherwise, they just won't have enough time to get anything done except for Hail Mary or laterals or something
I
crazy.
think you're right. And if the Swathers score, then it seems almost insurmountable. And looking to pass, gets it out to the sideline. I believe it is caught. I do not know.
It appeared to be Fry, and I think what the Swathers are really celebrating about, oh, I guess he went out of bounds, but
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
I thought they were celebrating because he was able to stay in bounds, which in that situation, if he can focus and stay in bounds, that's huge.
That is a break for Hoisington, though. They do not have to use a timeout in order to keep the clock. So, oh, they
Well,
are signaling.
So he did stay in bounds, and so they'll be able to waste, is it 35 seconds?
It's 30 or 35 unless Hoisington chooses to call a timeout.
Surprised me that they're not.
Which I almost wonder if the Swathers would call a timeout and let it drain all the way down for those 30 or 35 seconds.
Oh, not run a play here like they did and try hard count. I bet they'll run a play just first down. I think they will.
And we have a
Oh,
timeout
you are right.
by the Swathers. 27 seconds left. They need to run one final play in this game.
I wonder,
It'll be over.
Proctor was not in the game, and I wonder if he wanted to call a timeout to get that substitution in.
Possibly could be.
I know they've been relying on him in crunch time
At
situations.
this point, for the Swathers, do you just take a knee, for a quarterback kneel? Because the Hoisington Cardinals have not seemed to use their timeouts at all, and at this point, with 27 seconds left,
Well, they can stop it on first down, second down, but I feel like taking knees, I think they can run out the clock.
They have more downs to burn than Hoisington does timeouts.
So this is great organizing and just strategy by Coach Bowerly for the Swathers. We'll see what setup they come out in. It appears this is the setup where he just takes a knee, and this has to feel good.
And maybe for the first time, Hudson Fowles is under center tonight and takes a knee.
We'll see if they call a timeout.
They
will not.
Do not think they will.
Looks like they're just going to let it run out.
I think they know that the game is unfortunately over for the Hoisington Cardinals, who put up a great fight tonight against the Hesston Swathers with their tremendous run game and option game. As the clock winds down, and this game is officially over. Hesston 21, Hoisington 14. Lane, final thoughts for this game?
I think it was really evenly matched in terms of the line. I just think when it came down to it, the Swathers were able to utilize both the rush and the pass more. And I think if the Hoisington looked to pass more, I feel like they could have picked up some more yards. And then at the end of the game, just, again, great play calling by Coach Bowerly.
Yeah, those final 5 minutes were very important for the Swathers.
And there wasn't much action. It feel like they went like maybe 20, 30 yards in the last 5 minutes, but it's what you need to do at that point to win the game.
But a well-played game by both teams. But I believe that will wrap it up for the first game of the season. Thank you guys for watching and joining us. Until next time, good night.